Hey guys, Rollout here with LEGO Yu-Gi-Oh!, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and Seto Kaiba. Kaiba is one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, and the Blue Eyes archetype are some of my favorite duel monsters of all time. So after I built Yusei and Junk Warrior, this was kind of a no-brainer. First, we'll take a quick look at the minifigure, and then we'll take a closer look at his monster. Seto's most iconic look is in the long white coat, and so using a custom element here was an inevitability. This is from a Bricklink store called CapeMadness. They make very high quality custom fabric pieces that feel very similar to official LEGO capes. I think it looks great, and while I could have put him in his blue Season 1 outfit, that might have been a little bit easier, this is just a lot more recognizable. As for his body, I just used a black torso and some legs. I tried to find pants that had blue stripes on them, but nothing I found looked quite right. He's got a belt buckle, and then I used these two-toned sleeves to represent his forearm guards, and I think that's pretty cool. He's got some simple hair and kind of a generic smug face, but I think it works all right. He's holding a monster card there. And then for his dual disc, I used this newer curved tile piece, which isn't shaped perfectly, but I think as far as one-piece solutions go, this one is pretty good. On a lot of the cards and in the anime, Blue Eyes has blue-tinted skin for some reason, but it's literally called the Blue Eyes White Dragon. So I made him white. Also, while I happen to have this card for comparison, I also took inspiration from the original starter deck Kaiba art. Mostly the larger claws and more simplified wings, just to make things a little bit easier. I approached both this and Junk Warrior with a similar design ethic in that they're not really meant to be articulated action figures so much as statuesque model representations that happen to articulate a little bit. We'll start from the bottom up. His feet have quite a few illegal techniques, but generally this build is pretty quick and dirty and straight to the point. I really like these claw pieces for both his hands and feet. They suit Blue Eyes really well. They can sort of fan out or collapse however you wish. His ankle has a little bit of articulation, but he doesn't really have a knee. His legs are pretty much just curved right angles. He does have a little bit in his hip, however. His arms are quite skeletal and spindly, which isn't too dissimilar to the source material, and his hands are actually exactly the same as his feet, just posed a little bit differently. But you can articulate the palm using all of these stud connections in here, which allows for quite a bit of expression. The tail is very simple. It has 3 points of articulation, but I do like how it comes to a point at the end. His wings are also quite simple. You can see that I did not shy away from leaving exposed studs on this creation, which is awfully uncharacteristic. Usually I like very sleek and clean looking creations, but I felt that tiling all of these studs just made him seem way too bulky, and so I left them exposed. I tried to sort of put them all across his body in a tasteful way, and I think it looks pretty good. The wings can sort of collapse a little bit. They can also flap. I think they're probably a bit too small, but they're fine as they are. They have the 3 segments and the spike on top there. Blue Eye's body has this very distinct armored segments to it, and I've captured that by stacking Travis bricks on top of each other and creating these tiers that can individually rotate, and it gives this nice curvature to his body, I think. He has a very long neck, and then the top of his head is very sleek and smooth, and then he has these sort of paneled armor plates on the back. It's a really nice blue color for his eyes. He has those signature, like, spiked fins on the side of his head, and the mouth can open and close. He's got some studs inside there, which are meant to sort of represent his teeth, and then onto one of those I've attached this Belleville crystal ball element, which is supposed to be him charging up a white lightning attack, and I think that's a pretty cool effect. Here they are squaring off against Junk Warrior and the Dual Runner, and they're about the same size, which I think is probably inaccurate. I feel like Blue Eyes should be a whole lot bigger than this, but Dual Monsters' holograms fluctuate in size constantly, so it's kind of hard to tell. Either way, I think both of these monsters look great standing next to a minifigure, and really that's all that matters. That's about all there is to it. This is a pretty straightforward creation. But if you enjoy the Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, make sure to like and comment on this video, let me know, and maybe I'll continue building dual monsters in the future. Of course, I'd really like to make a Yugi and Dark Magician to pair with this duo, but that proves difficult for many different reasons. First of all, it's harder to find useful elements in purple and pink, but also there's the fact that Yugi's hair is impossible. I could sculpt my own or paint up some Exoforce hair, but I'd like to keep these as vanilla as possible, so it might be a while before I come up with a solution. Until then, this has been Rollout, signing off.